Hello Twitch, this is Captain Nav. Welcome back today for another stream. Totally different region of the world for the sim adventures. And on this one we are across the pond in the States. We'll be flying from Washington, Dallas to Boston. So we are sitting on stand Charlie 4 in Washington Dulles Airport, Kilo India Alpha Delta, on United Airlines Flight 655 to Boston. So like always, I've got all my flight plans and stuff all sorted out, and we'll jump into the flight deck quickly. And we'll get started. So first of all, we'll get all the checks done. On this one we're gonna assume a lot of checks and stuff have been already done, stuff that's not really vital for the simulation. And yeah, all good to go. So I'll jump into the FSX, and the fuel we need on this one is need to find the flight plan. It's about a 1 hour flight, so it shouldn't be too much fuel. Actually, it should be maybe about 5 tons of fuel altogether, maybe 6 tons max. It's only a 1 hour flight. The weather is good, there's no extra fuel taken at all. So Dallas to Boston, release fuel is 6,400 kilos. That's more or less what I thought. So that's it. The aircraft is fueled up. And for the payload, like always, random payload. And zero fuel rate of 60.3, which is fairly heavy, so that's a busy flight. Like always, courtesy of PFPX. As far as the doors are concerned, the cargo doors are open, and we'll ask for the catering, and United Airlines, of course, and we'll open the doors. Hopefully it's not gonna close them and reopen them, so because sometimes it tends to be done automatically. And I'll close the front one and reopen it, because sometimes you can't start the boarding for some reason as well. Anyway, now it's time to jump into the FMC, and all the information here is correct. Then we'll go to the route page, and set the reference airport KIAD and the GPS left position. Done. Then the route, it's company route KBOS 02, and the company route, it's flight United 655. And it's gonna be runway 30 from Dallas. There'll be a little bit of a tailwind, but not too much, so we can cope with that. So it's 1 Brust Juliet 42 Robbinsville, I think, and then Juliet triple two to JFK VOR, and then the arrival. Departure from Dallas is runway 30, and it's the Jacobi 3 Swan transition, which will take us to the route, which is nice. And the arrival we'll see later on. Zero fuel weight, we're one set now, and alternate fuel is 2.9. The alternate today is Bangor, cost index 35, cruise altitude 330. I'd originally planned 437, but it's a short flight, so 33 will be fine, I guess. Cruise wind is gonna be actually 282 at 50, let's say 280 at 50, because I'd planned for 370. It's not correct. Transition altitude is 18,000 in the United States, and that's about it. So we come back to Perfinet and wait there. So QNH for the instruments. It's IMC, a little bit of rain apparently, but I don't see any rain there. 3008. Okay, so in the United States it's in inches of mercury. 3008, flight directors on. We'll go from runway 30. So it's gonna be a heading of 301, and initially I think it's 3,000 feet if I'm not mistaken. Gonna quickly double check the charts. Close the right entry aft, it's done. I think it's all doing it automatically actually. Yeah, 3,000 feet. Okay. Done. So all the right hand side doors are closed, which is good. We'll go for the boarding. Get the sponsors on. And yeah, the jetway is in place, it's alright. I go on the overhead. As I said, the cruise level will be 330, and the airport elevation in Boston is 19 feet. Yeah, it's more or less sea level. It's close to the ocean. Yellow. Done. Safety inspection checklist.
Safety inspection checklist. Surfaces and shocks.
Checked.
Maintenance status.
Checked.
Battery.
On.
Electric, hydraulic, pumps.
On.
Landing gear.
Down.
Aircraft, documents.
Checked.
Safety inspection checklist complete.
So I think that's all the passengers on, which is good. And it's fairly busy on good old Twitch. So let's do the performance. Zero fuel weight is already in, 66.8 for takeoff. That's cool. I'll go for 24k with the tailwind. Maybe too much, but doesn't really matter. And flaps 5, CG 25.2, and these are the speeds, 148. So 148. L now 3,000 feet. And this one is on as well. Let's double check the ground power. The APU is now running, so we can set the APU on the bus and get rid of the ground power. The parking brake is set, we can get rid of the chocks as well. So ground connections and remove the wheel chocks and the ground power. That's done. The doors, they're still working on the loading of the bags. We have a quick look outside and they're still loading the bags. So in the meantime, we can do the pre-flight checklist, I guess, to the doors. Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. IRS mode selector.
Nav.
Gear pins.
Removed.
Oxygen.
Tested.
Yaw damper.
On.
Navigation, transfer and display switches.
Normal auto.
Fuel quantity.
As required.
Fuel pumps.
On.
Cabin galley power.
On.
Emergency exit lights.
Armed.
Passenger signs.
On.
Please confirm. Requested something? On. Captain.
On. Continue the checklist.
I think I'm done with this flight. Time
On.
to say goodbye. Have a nice trip, folks.
Window heat.
On.
Hydraulics.
Normal.
Air conditioning and pressurization.
Set.
Pressurization mode selector.
Auto.
Instruments.
Cross-checked.
Cross track. 0.0 right.
Cross-checked.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Speed brake lever.
Down. Down.
Parking brake.
Set.
Stab trim cutout switches.
Normal.
Wheel well fire warning.
Checked.
Radios, radar and transponder.
Set.
Rudder and aileron trim.
3 and 0.
Take off refit.
Complete.
FMC CDU.
Set.
And 1 IAS bugs.
Set.
Stab trim.
Set.
Flight set door.
Locked.
Doors.
closed.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Perfect. No, I'm not flying in the States, Ramos. I'm flying closer to home. Right, there's no ATC, and hopefully there'll be ATC later on. Oh, that's a shame Baltimore is on. Well, cool. So let's go. We are ready for push. Parking brake is set. This one on out of. Before start, checklist.
Before start checklist. Hydraulic A pumps.
Off.
Packs.
Off.
Anti-collision light.
On.
Parking brake.
Set.
Transponder.
Off.
Before start checklist complete.
So the jetway is going away, and we can prepare for push. Let me check exactly. So nose to the left. Perfect.
Yep.
So number 2. Nope. Yeah, this is kind of a cul-de-sac, so we're gonna head all the way down there, and then towards 30 for departure. So the jetway is back in place. Our dear friend is sitting down there.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
I'm ready as well, matey. Here it is. Hi, how are you doing?
Locking gear.
No, I used to fly the 7.3, but I'm not flying the 7.3 anymore. I'm on the 777.
Departure check completed. Live has been inserted. Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
So he's pushing us. Yeah, I like to fly the 737 actually more than the 777 in the simulation. Here kind of takes me away from what I'm doing, but still flying and kind of reminding me of the old days. So yeah, I prefer to fly the 737 on here, but the 777 can be used for shorter flights, but it's obviously a long haul aircraft, and so far one of my longest flights on stream is about 2.5 to 3 hours. So I'm thinking of trying to push it, but I don't have that much time either. So alright, so I'll start the engines. You told me previously you were working in Portland, is that correct? So N2. All pressure, N1. %. Bring the fuel in. Actually the wrong engine I'm looking at. Starting the right and I'm looking at the left. No wonder it's not turning.
Set parking brakes.
Parking brake set. Number 2 is stable. We got the red line for the EGT. Any EGT exceedances that's dropped off. We can start the left engine. Got N2. Some oil pressure.
Unlocking gear.
And then N1 up here.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass main removed.
25%, bring the fuel in. No, it's the memory. I didn't dig a log. It's all out of memory.
Left is clear.
Yeah, quality of life is actually important. I know that career-wise, it's always interesting to try to go a little bit beyond, but quality of life is unbeatable. And if you have a good quality of life and where you're gonna go is maybe not so good, it's always a difficult decision to make. I wouldn't say I regret the move on the 777, but quality of life is a little bit different, above all for the company I'm working for. Kind of working like slaves at the moment, so it's not so great. So if you have quality of life, it's very important. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Generators.
On.
Probe heat.
On.
Anti-ice.
As required.
Hydraulic A pumps.
On.
Air condition.
Pax auto bleeds on. Set.
Isolation valve.
Auto.
Engine start switches.
On.
APU.
Off.
Recall.
Checked.
Flaps.
Set.
Stab trim.
Set.
Start levers.
On.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Cool. Yeah, of course the pay scale is kind of important as well, but yeah, quality of life is I think if you've got like a good roster, kind of good timings at work and stuff. It's always a difficult decision, isn't it? If your next move is Seattle, then Seattle is a good place to be as well. Before takeoff to the line checklist.
Before takeoff to the line checklist. Config.
Checked.
Recall.
Checked.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Flaps.
Set.
Stabilizer trim.
Set.
Take off refit.
Complete.
Cabin.
Secure.
Before takeoff to the line checklist complete.
Molto bene. Oh, you're already in Seattle? Fantastic. So, I mean, if you are in Seattle, then you're, you know, you're dancing, man. That's a good place to live. If you can stay kind of in Seattle or else and fly out of Seattle, and you know, you don't have to commute and stuff, is good. Because commuting, I don't know so much in North America. It's maybe easier, but I know in Europe it's a pain in the backside. And believe it or not, like some people were like moaning about, like, you know, commuters and people jump seating and all that stuff, and you know, at the end of the day, all it does is help people live where they are from or where they want to be, and go and work somewhere else. So yeah. So we're gonna turn left on Zulu. There's nobody on the right. It's clear on the left. Oh, you don't even drive to the airport. Fantastic. Yeah, as I said, if your job is well, if your activity, because it sounds more like an activity than a job the way you describe it, if it's very good, if it's giving you like good quality of life, if you spend a lot of time at home, you know, and you've got, you know, if the job is enjoyable in itself, you know, obviously all jobs then become boring after a while. So even jumping to a bigger or supposedly better is not always a guarantee of better things in the long term. As they say, you know, it's the grass is always greener, but the shit is always brown, so to speak. I've learned to tell the tale, so to speak. Was this one? Yeah, it's commuting is a pain, but yeah, I understand in the States it's quite widespread, but I guess it's better organized as well, so it's at least it makes things a little bit easier. Runway entry flow.
Cabin crew, take your seat.
Before takeoff, below the line checklist.
Before takeoff, below the line checklist. Engine start switches.
On.
Correct checklist setting is on MCP.
Set.
Transponder.
Auto.
Landing and strobe lights.
As required.
Landing lights.
On.
I expect to hear on before take off below the line. Checklist complete.
Why did I say I said on? Anyway, let's keep our cool. Toga, let's go. I'll have a look at the. Is that your roster? The link there? I'll have a look once we get airborne and sorted out. I'll have a look. Past 80 knots. Got a tailwind we can see on the navigation display.
V1. Rotate.
Gear up.
Gear coming up. Gear up and locked.
Flaps 1.
Flaps 1 selected.
Flaps up.
Flaps going up.
Cool, so we're going to climb all the way. Fly level 200. After takeoff flow.
Ready for checklist.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist.
Hey, the RAV
Air
2617.
pressurization.
Thank you very much. Set.
Landing gear.
Up and off.
Auto brake.
Off.
Flaps.
Up, no lights.
Altimeters.
Standard setting.
After takeoff checklist complete.
So we'll go to Riggins. Nav.
Confirm. IRU nav.
Disregard.
Changed your mind? I'm
Yes.
fine with it.
Let me double check that. Hold on. No, I used to. I'm not flying the 737 anymore. I'm just playing around on this one. I fly the 777, but just for a change, I like to remember the old days on the 737. I'm gonna have a look at the picture you sent me, Mermo, stand by. Was that your route system? I thought it was going to be the roster. 10 checks climb.
10 checklist. Recall. 10 checklist complete.
Yeah, imagine, I mean, you do like 6 or 8 hours and then that's your day finished. Yeah, I looked at the picture you sent is a route system. Is that all the routes of your company? Yeah? Is that correct? The network is looks fairly extensive. As I said, man, you know, it's your decision, but I mean, oh, okay, it's the wrong pictures. No problem. But yeah, quality of life is important. Moving on is important for your career as well. You say you're 44, maybe you aspire to inverted commas like better and bigger things. But at the same time, if you've got like a good quality of life, if you're settled where you are, if you're quite happy, you don't know where you're going. If you're going to a better place, then you know, and you know it's better, then obviously there's no question about you know, hesitating. But if you're not sure where you're going and stuff, then all right, let's have a look. Oh yeah. Oof. So are you going on kind of trips for a few days, or is it like on the days off you're kind of back home, and on the blocks of obviously of work days you're down in Portland? Is that the way it works? Well, it looks like a lot of time off. A lot of time off, man. It's even better than Ryanair. Yeah, that is very important, man. You know, the time with the wife, with the family. I don't know if you've got kids or not, but it is very important as well. Yeah, a lot of things to consider. Hello Bill, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. We're talking about catching up. I see you on. Welcome to the stream, sir. Good afternoon. Good luck, Mermoz, with the decision you'll make. It's a tough one. I think you've done already well from the background you're quoting. I think you've done fairly well, and fair dues to you, man. If that makes sense. Release the passengers, they can walk about, go for a pee. Not necessarily tired of the long haul, as just tired of the kind of pace of work we have. As I said, like before on other streams, I don't want to talk about the company I'm working for. They are a little bit sensitive with like social media and stuff, so I don't want to really quote the name of the company and like kind of like, you know, working for them and all that stuff, and talk about it. But yeah, the pace of work we have is a little bit crazy at the moment, and we don't really see the light at the end of the tunnel, to tell the truth. So not sure what's gonna happen in the future. So like, yeah, it's not great. If we had a little bit like more time off and stuff, it would be much better. I'm not saying that, you know, we should fly like 10 days a month and have like 20 days off, but maybe like half and half would be a good balance, you know. Above all, when you do long haul and you go left, right, up and down, and 1 week to the west, 1 week to the, well, not even, we're not talking about weeks, we're talking like 1 day to the west, 3 days after to the east, and kind of, you know, then fly at night, fly, you know, again during the day, west, east, up, down. It's crazy. Yeah, at the moment, what kind of is slowing me down is, you know, having like the family and trying to kind of ensure a little bit of a future for the family, and then for my wife and myself. But my plan would be maybe in the next 5 years or something to go back to short haul flying as well, to tell the truth. But at the moment I'm a bit like a mercenary, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, 20 days off is nice. Even like, I mean, I've had like rosters with about 15 days off, and it makes a hell of a difference on your body and you know, on your mental state as well, because it kind of gives you time to recover a little bit. Whereas when you fly and you only have like 1 or 2 days off, and you're away on another like kind of long haul flight again, or night flight, or blah 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 blah, it all becomes a blur a little bit. Yeah, I think I've said it before. I'm 39, so I obviously still have a few years to work, I guess. Is the word, and yeah, maybe try to do another, yeah, between 5, maybe 10 at a max, but not much more than that, because it's way too much. Hello, the flight captain. Welcome back. I have to say, guys, it's fairly exceptional for me to be on twice a day, flying earlier on between Gatwick and Barcelona, and now on the other side of the pond in the US, flying from Washington, Dallas to Boston. So This is fairly exceptional. So I'm pleased to be honored by your presence. One to go. Cool, so leveling off at flight level 330. So far so good, looks like a nice afternoon in the States. 4th of July. So top of descent in 15 minutes already actually, so I'd better get ready and have a look at the arrival. Let me go back to the equip cooling. I don't think there's equip cooling on the 737. There is equipment cooling on the 777. Basically to cool all the electronics and all the equipment down in the E and E bay, from what I understand. I'm not a monster of all the tech stuff, but that's my understanding of it. And then all the exhaust from that cooling kind of heats up the forward cargo as well on the 777. But on the 737, I mean, I can't really remember. It's already been a while. It's the 737 is becoming a bit of a distant memory, but yeah, I don't recall equipment cooling on the 737, but I might be wrong. I don't know.